Pricing up a pond couldn't be easier when you're using this module. I need to enter the dimensions of my pond here, in the red cells. The length is 1 linear metre, the width is 3.2, and the depth is 1.1. By entering these numbers, a lot of information has now been calculated. I can also see that some cells will need my judgment. Let's take a look at the details. If you are going to be setting out, then you can enter this information here. I will be hiring in a level for a day, so I enter 1 here. This will take me 1.5 hours, so I enter 1.5 here. If you're not doing any setting out, you can just leave these boxes empty. Next I can see the excavation. I will need a 1.5 tonne excavator for 1 day, and I'll be using it for just over 5 hours. If I click on the question mark here, I can see the hours that have been allowed to excavate each cubic metre. 3.6 hours per cube is right for me, but if you want to change it, you can here in the picture, and the hours on the pricing sheet will immediately adjust. If I look at my waste disposal, I can see that at the moment I will need 6 4-yard skips. That's quite a lot, and so I'll click on the waste disposal question mark and see the other options. I'm going to select a 17.5 tonne grab lorry. I can instantly see I will only need 1 of these, and it will save me money by going with this option. This is the great thing about not just this module, but all our modules. Because everything is calculated instantly, you can immediately see the most cost-effective way to get the job done. If you were disposing of the soils on site, you can just untick the waste disposal and all the costs are removed. I'm going to need 1.5 tonnes of sand for my blinding around the sides. If I click on the question mark, I get a helpful diagram, and I can also see this quantity is based on the blinding being 38mm thick. My blinding needs to be 55mm thick, so I will change this here in the picture, and I now know I'll need 2.5 tonnes of sand. My underlay and liner are shown here. If I just click on the question mark, I'm shown a useful diagram. The calculation for these 2 items is based on the area. To allow for the overlap and crinkle factor, 20% is added. If you wanted to increase this, you can do so here in the diagram. I'll leave this as it is. I can see that for the underlay and liner, I'm going to need 4 rolls of each. If you select a roll that has different dimensions, the amount of rolls required will alter. You can use this module to create quite complex ponds. You would estimate the cost by simply breaking the pond down into sections. Then you can bring in as many pond modules as required to do the calculations for the different sections, remembering to give them individual names, such as Pond Section 2. When all your sections are priced, you just look at the overall total and the work is calculated.